Hey guys, it's Eitan. Today we are making everyone's favorite comfort food, mac and cheese. It is seriously delicious. You have the Chipotles in Adobo, which give it such a unique flavor. If you've never had it before, I highly suggest it. All right, so let's start. Over here on my stovetop, I have a non-stick pot, actually, not a pan. And we're gonna put it on a medium-high heat. And to this, we're actually gonna start making a roux. That's kind of what's gonna thicken our sauce to make just the best ever mac and cheese sauce. And then to this, we're gonna start by adding in our butter straight into there. And we're gonna go in there with a little bit of flour. This is the thickening agent that is really gonna make our mac and cheese sauce super, super thick. All right, it's now all come together, and you want to cook this stirring until it's a nice like tan, kind of brownish color, because what we're doing is we're cooking out that like raw flour flavor, which you do not want in your mac and cheese. And we're just going to leave us with this beautiful roux that is going to thicken our mac and cheese sauce and just make it amazing. Okay, our roux is starting to get a nice light brown tan color, and to this, we are going to add in some whole milk straight into here. Hear that sizzle. And I'm actually gonna add in a little bit more. I couldn't fit it all into one mason jar. All into there. And now it's super important that you start quickly mixing this because you wanna really break down all those big clumps of the roux. So give that a good mix up, and we wanna bring this milk to a nice simmer. Okay, so our milk has now come almost to a simmer. As you can see, it has some nice steam wafting off. And this is a very important part and an easy part to mess up. So you want to be very careful. We're actually going to spoon out some of this milk into a bowl. All right, I know this may look weird. Stick with me. Spoon it out into a bowl. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to be tempering the eggs. And what it's going to do is going to make sure that when we add the eggs in, it doesn't become scrambled eggs. Because I don't know about you, but I like my mac and cheese without scrambled eggs. I think that probably is like a unanimous thing. So let's add a bunch of this into here. All right, that is great. Over here, I have one egg, and we're gonna add this egg into here, but very carefully. I'm actually gonna get a fork because right when we add this in, we wanna immediately start mixing it so it does not scramble. Remember, we do not want scrambled eggs. All right, here we go. Now, quickly mix that into here as fast as you can without it scrambling. All right, I think we have succeeded so far. All right, this is good news. No scrambled eggs in there. Now I've lowered the flame so it's not too hot. And just like we did here, we're gonna quickly add them in and then immediately start mixing as fast as possible until it's fully combined so that it's nicely mixed into the milk before it scrambles. And go. Mix, mix, mix. Really, 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 really fast. All right, looks like we don't have scrambled eggs. And I think this was a success. The first time I've tested this recipe, I added in the egg without tempering it, and oh gosh, I literally had scrambled eggs in my mac and cheese, which wasn't actually that bad. I'll admit, it wasn't actually that bad. I ate it after, but it's much better without it. And then as you can see, we just have this nice thick sauce over there. We still have some little pieces of the roux in there, but the more you mix it and when it's in the oven, it'll break down, so do not worry. So really mix this together. Let's raise the flame slightly. And now to this, we're gonna add in the rest of our ingredients for our sauce. Over here, I have a little bit of sugar that we're gonna add straight into here. Also with that, we're gonna add in a little bit of kosher salt. Also, right over here, I have a lot of cheddar cheese. You wanna use shredded into here. This is what's gonna make it super cheesy and delicious. All into there. Get every last piece of cheese. And now let's mix this together. We want to melt all that cheese in here. You can hear it's making a lot of sounds. That's how you know something good is cooking. And so what we're going to do is really mix this in. And now you can probably see, look how thick that it's gotten. We went from that super thin, like watery milk to now this very, very thick, amazing sauce. Look at that. That is why you want to make homemade mac and cheese. It's much better than, I mean, trust me, when I'm in a rush, I'm totally fine with like the store-bought, like quick, just boil the water, add in the powdered cheese. But when you have the time, seriously, it is so worth it to make homemade mac and cheese. Like even just for this sauce, like, I mean, come on, look at that. That looks so good. Also, let's hit that with a little bit of freshly ground pepper, mix that in. And now is the not so secret ingredient. Well, I don't know, you can call it secret if you want because most people don't add it in, but I'm gonna tell you about it. It is Chipotles in adobo sauce. This is something, as you guys know if you're watching my channel, that is a pretty new ingredient for me. I haven't been cooking with it for that long, and it is seriously life-changing. It has the most amazing smoky, spicy flavor that just really elevates every single dish. So over here I have some of the adobo sauce. These are the chilies that come in the adobo sauce. I actually use both parts. So let's add that straight in. I'm gonna add about half, a little more than half. You know, let's just go all the way in. I like spicy food. All right, but you can do however much you want. Then let's come back over to the cutting board, and we're gonna take one of the chilies from the chilies and adobo, and we're gonna cut it in half. Even though I like spicy food, these seeds are just like a little much. So we would just wanna remove all these seeds. And now we are just gonna chop this up. It is very important that you chop it up super fine so you don't get big pieces of the chili in your bites. So you just wanna keep chop that up super, super fine. Now let's take about half of it and we're gonna add this into our mixture over here. Perfect. And over here, let's just mix in that Chipotles and adobo. Look at that amazing color it gives it until it is fully combined. Here we go. Ooh, the cheese, the butter, the Chipotles, it is all just coming together to smell absolutely amazing. And now it is time to add in our pasta. So I actually have some elbow macaroni that I pre-boiled, and we're gonna add this straight into our cheese mixture. Get every single piece of the pasta coated in this amazing sauce. Like every piece. There's no excuse. And now, okay, I know we've already looked a lot of times, but let's just look one more time. I mean, is that not just decadent amazingness? If that doesn't look amazing, then I don't know what is. And so over here I have a 9 by 13 baking pan, and we're gonna add in our pasta straight into here. Let's carefully pour it all into here. Look at that steam. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to dig into this. Okay, now that we've done that, let's turn this over, and we're gonna make a quick topping. This really gives it like that nice crunchy topping on top. We have the creamy part on the bottom and in the whole insides, and then we bake in the oven. This topping is gonna get nice and crispy and make every bite have a crunch. Over here, I just have some plain panko breadcrumbs. We're gonna spice it up with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And now we're actually gonna use the leftover chopped up Chipotles and adobo right into there. I know this may seem a little different, but that's gonna give you like nice little speckles of color. And now let's pour this on top. All right, this looks absolutely amazing. I'm gonna go pop this in the oven that has been preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna cook it for about 25 minutes until it's nice and gooey, the top is nice and browned and crunchy, and then it's my favorite time of all. It's eating time. All right, let's go pop this in the oven. Our mac and cheese has come out of the oven. Look at that, you have those brown bits on top, the ooey gooey saucy part. It is just filled with tons of amazing things. So typically you probably eat this with a plate, like all elegantly, but I'm just gonna dig in with a spoon because that's really all you need to go straight in there, although it probably is very, very hot. So let me take a little piece and look at that. Look at that, it's steaming off. You have the crunchy part on top. You have that nice sauce all around the pasta. I first cooked the pasta to al dente, so by this point it's nice and soft. It all comes together into one delicious bite. All right, I think you guys know what time it is. It is time to dig in. Wow, that seriously is probably one of the best mac and cheeses out there. You know, you put it in your mouth, you have the creamy pasta sauce wrapped around the pasta, you have that crunchy coating that you cannot skip this crunchy coating. It seriously makes the mac and cheese. Then you get hit with that amazing chipotle and adobo that just seriously takes this to a whole other level. This is a recipe you guys are gonna love to eat, even all summer long. Even though you typically don't eat like a really hot comfort dish during the summer, you'll be eating it summer long, winter long. You'll always be eating this dish. If you want the recipe, you can get it in the description box below. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video because, I mean, it's mac and cheese. Who does not like mac and cheese? And you wanna be always the first to see my videos. So I'm just gonna go finish this mac and cheese, probably by myself because you can never have too much mac and cheese.